So, throughout this almost 10 years of YouTube story time videos, told a lot of stories about ex-girlfriends of mine, and some that are a little bit on the more interesting side, I might say. And when I say that, I mean, a little on the, I don't want to say crazy side, but definitely interesting. And I never told this story because honestly, I've been waiting. I don't know why. It's such a good one in my opinion in terms of how insane it really is. And I thought you guys would enjoy it. So if you do, leave a like on the video and let's get into this. So today's story time all takes place back in 2017. This was actually the day after my 19th birthday. Yeah, so it was October 2017. Things were going great. I was actually visiting my hometown for a bit. This was when I was living in LA, but I was visiting my hometown in New York to see my friends and celebrate my birthday and just be with the people that I was close to, essentially. And I was single at the time, wasn't dating anybody, and life was good. Really, I had no complaints. Things were going good. YouTube was going good. Family was good. Everything was great. So I went home to visit for my birthday. My birthday was amazing. Had a big party with all my close friends and family. And I had an Airbnb. It was like a 3-bedroom house. I had some friends crashing with me. And the day after my birthday party, I guess I didn't get the party itch out of me. So I was like, you know what? Let's have another party. Let's have an after birthday party. Not even for me. Just let's just have a party. And all my friends were like, okay, sure. Now, the party I had for my birthday was at a bar/restaurant the day before, but this party we were about to have was going to be at the Airbnb. So we went out, we got some cups, got some refreshments, party stuff, you already know, right? Went back to my Airbnb, sat down, started inviting people, texting people from the night before, pretty much just saying hey, we're going round two, come through, here's the address. And within an hour or 2 hours, we had about probably 20 people show up, which was honestly for last minute notice pretty good. And it was a small party. It wasn't like it was the night before with a bunch of people. At most, I think we got 30 or 40 people in the house, which is pretty big actually when you think about it. But yeah, it was a pretty good turnout. It was mostly really fun. But of course, these stories don't always have a happy ending. About halfway through the party, this girl shows up who I did not know. I've never met her once in my life. I found out that she was a friend of a friend. My friend Jason brought her. I asked how he knew her, and he said that he knew her from middle school, which is kind of crazy. So they had been friends since they were kids. So that made me trust her. I was like, okay, she's probably cool. If he's known her since middle school and they've been friends all these years later into adulthood, they're probably really, really close, and she's probably really, really cool. So after Jason shows up with her, he introduces us. He's like, hey, Austin, this is my friend. Says her name. For the sake of the story and keeping her name private, we'll just call her Olivia, okay? He's like, this is my friend Olivia. I'm like, hey, Olivia, Austin, nice to meet you. And she's like, yeah, nice to meet you. And immediately me and her hit it off. We start talking, and we're just having a bunch of stuff in common, and we're having really good conversation. And also, I find her to be pretty cute, good-looking girl, and she seems like she's into me. And we just have a great conversation, essentially, for 30 minutes. To the point where all my friends walked away and did their own thing and just left us alone. And after that, we went out to the backyard of this Airbnb. There was a little bonfire going. We sat back there, talked for another hour and a half. And just everything was really, really cool about this girl. Everything I was learning about her, every conversation we were having was just good. I don't know how to explain it, right? No red flags. So I think, all right, you know what? This is somebody I kind of want to get to know more. So I asked her, I was like, hey, can I get your number? And she's like, yeah, of course. So we exchanged numbers and we keep talking for pretty much the entire night. We were out at that bonfire for probably 3 hours, no joke. And it got to be 2 or 3 in the morning. So obviously it was late. We were both really tired. The party was definitely winding down. Most of the people had left. And she looks at me and she was like, hey, do you care if I crash here? I think Jason already went home. I don't really want to ride home with him. I'm exhausted. And I was like, yeah, you could crash here. And she was like, cool. And I was like, where do you want to sleep? We have the guest room. That's open, I think, tonight. And we also have the living room. I'm assuming you want the guest room. She was like, can I stay in your room? And she smiles. And I was like, okay. And in my head, I'm like, oh, shit. Things are moving quickly, Just a pretty good mix of excitement and also nervousness definitely hit me. And I was like, yeah, that's okay. And she was like, cool. So we both went up to my room. And one thing leads to another, and within like 15 minutes or 20 minutes after laying down together, we start kissing, and I'm not going to go into detail, but things are going good, right? And I reach into my nightstand to pull out a condom. Always use protection, by the way. And I set it down on the nightstand because I had to go to the bathroom first. I was like, I got to pee. I'll be right back. And she was like, okay. So I go in the bathroom, do my business, wash my hands. And when I opened the bathroom door, I saw something that I did not expect to see, okay? I open the bathroom door, and I see this girl, Olivia, on my bed, holding the condom with her keys poking through it. Like she has one of her little small keys trying to poke through the middle of the condom. And I was like, what are you doing? And I guess she just like didn't see me open the door, like know that I was looking at her, because she freaked out. She like dropped everything in her hands. Like, oh shit, like you scared me. And I was like, what are you doing with that? And she was like, nothing, just trying to open it. I was like, through the middle? Because like she wasn't trying to peel the corner or like put the key through the corner of it to make it, open so she could rip it off. She literally was trying to stab a key through the middle of this thing. And I was like, why are you trying to open it like that? And she was like, I don't know. And I was like, all right, tell me the truth. And I won't get mad. Just tell me the truth. Like, were you like trying to put a hole through it? And she hesitates so hard. Like, it takes her like a solid 5 seconds to answer. And she was like, no. And I was like, okay. So I lay down on the bed. And I'm like sitting there for a second, like trying to like think about what just happened. And she starts trying to kiss me again. And I was like, honestly, I don't really want to hook up anymore. And she was like, why? And I was like, I don't know. I'm like nervous now. And she was like, is it because of what I was doing? And I was like, yeah, a little bit. And she was like, all right, look. I was doing what you thought I was doing. I was trying to put a hole through it. And I was like, why? Like, why? Like, what? I felt so betrayed. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I just felt terrible. And she was like, I don't know, okay? Like, it was stupid, but I won't do it again. I'm sorry. And I was like, yeah, I think you should, like, sleep in the guest room. And she didn't fight with me about it. She got up, and she went to the guest room. And the whole rest of that night, I was just sitting there in bed like, what the hell possessed her to do that? Because like at the time, this girl didn't really know anything about me, at least I thought. But the next day I found out through Jason, the dude that brought her, that she knew about my YouTube channel. I guess Jason had told her about it on the way to the party, and she knew that I had money for my age. So if I was to make assumptions here, and I don't like making assumptions, but this is just my assumption of the situation, maybe she was trying to like poke a hole through it so that she'd get pregnant and then be like tied up with my money. I don't know, dude. Like that's my assumption. That's the only reasonable explanation in my opinion. Like why else would you do that? But yeah, the whole situation just really sucked because like at first I thought she was like a really cool girl with no red flags, and then by the end of it, she was the biggest red flag I've ever had in my entire life. So that wasn't good. But honestly, I'm glad that I walked out of the bathroom when I did and caught her doing that, because it could have gone a whole different way and your boy could have been a father right now. So I'm glad that that didn't happen. But yeah, I immediately hit up Jason the next day and like talked to him about it and like got some clarity on the situation. And he was really pissed at her. He stopped talking to her as well because he felt just as betrayed as I did because she tried to pull one over on his best friend essentially. And it's just crazy because she could have kept lying. She could have just been like, oh no, like I didn't do that. Like I was just trying to open it. It's not what you think. And I probably would have eventually believed her. She probably could have just gaslit me into believing it. But luckily she admitted it and everything worked out in the end. But yeah, it was a shitty night to say the least. But yeah, guys, moral of the story is make sure you trust who you're getting into relationships with. And always use protection. That's definitely another one. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed this story time. If you did, please leave a like on the video. I'd really appreciate it. Feel free to leave your story times in the comments down below. And subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all later. Peace. I be in LA. I be on my way. I be chilling outside. Still be getting